Actress Glenn Close said, "What mental health needs is more sunlight, more candor, and more unashamed conversation." The more that we normalize mental health, the more people will seek treatment. Imagine what it would be like if treatment was as easy as attending your annual checkup with your mental health provider. Nearly 1 in 5 adults live with a mental illness that ranges from mild to moderate. Mental illness has become a huge epidemic in the United States as well as other countries, with numbers significantly climbing since the start of the pandemic. However, only a staggering 42% of those seek treatment, while numbers in youth are even greater for those that don't seek treatment either. If you look here at our graph, it will tell you a little bit more about some of the prevalence in the United States, about the different types of mental illnesses and where it affects other people. The most that we see is anxiety disorders as well as depression. Those can be treated very easily with medications, with therapies, with strategies to cope with those things. If we were to have mental health checkups just like physicals yearly, we would have less people who suffered from breakdowns due to depression and anxiety. We would be able to catch people suffering from a mental illness before they'd have a chance to act in an unsafe way to themselves or others. And we could monitor youth to be able to catch mental illnesses sooner. The US Department of Health and Human Services report that 21% of adults experienced mental health in 2020. That's 1 in 5. And 1 in 20 recorded was a serious illness. 6.7 of these adults had a reoccurring substance abuse problem, and many from use these substances as a self-medication to help their mental state. Imagine this could have been caught sooner if they had help for their mental health issues. The numbers represented at a time before the pandemic and the number of people reporting major health issues include severe depression, anxiety have substantially increased since the pandemic started. And there are so many steps to jump through, even to get in to see a mental health provider. If you or a family member have a problem, or if you know somebody that needs help, there's always help. There's always help to be had for mental health. You can contact the NAMBY. The helpline is on the screen. Connect with your family and friends. Join a support group or contact a mental health provider. You have all of these resources at your hands, or you can call 988. That's the suicide prevention hotline. Or you can go to your local emergency room. These people got to a point, just like myself, where we struggled and we couldn't get the help we needed. Imagine if that help was right there in front of us, right there, annually, with a mental health provider. A recent study from Columbia University Department of Psychology found that approximately 5% of mass shootings were related to severe mental illness. And although a much larger percentage of the mass shootings, about 25%, are associated with non-psychotic, psychiatric, and neurological issues, including depression, and 23% of those was with substance abuse. All of those are mental health issues. All of those could be prevented with an annual visit. Imagine the number of people that we could save if we were to seriously look into screening for mental health issues annually. These people could be stopped for the screening and get help before they were able to harm themselves or anyone else. CNN News reported A published statement from the JAMA Pediatrics. It stated that 1 in 7 youth have mental health conditions, and half of those go untreated. Half of those go untreated. Half of those youth go on to adulthood and experience more severe forms of mental health. If we can catch these youth during annual screenings, we could head off mental health issues for them in the future. And with the help of mental health screenings, we would be able to better the mental health crisis in America. In conclusion, it's time to take action to help with our mental health system. It's time to get help to people. It's time to get better access to mental health professionals. It's time to make annual mental health checks a priority, not just a box checked off at your annual physical. Imagine with prevention how much better we can make the world. So, as Dr. Phil says, sometimes you can make the right decision, sometimes you can make the decisions right. It's time now to make the decisions right. Thank you very much.